I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact focused on personal growth, my Knowledge Workbook series and Creative Healing course can help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about my ex came back again 6 years too late.
Whew, that's a long time.
Why 6 years too late? Well, we've got a success story here.
Okay.
This is somebody that wound up getting back with their ex. They broke up again, and now she's moved on and is very, very happy. But guess who's coming back around again? We got an ex coming back.
You guys are like 6 years.
This
you
is
gotta be kidding me.
A roller coaster on this one here, but they are very happy with the way that their life is, so I'm going to share this one, and let's just get into this. They said, "Hi, Craig. I always wanted to be a success story, and I am thrilled to say, as I'm typing this, that I have a great story to share. 6 years ago, in November of 2019, my first love of my life broke up with me. I remember that day so vividly, and it seriously came out of the blue. I won't go into details, but it didn't involve cheating. I was so confused as to why he wanted the relationship to end. Things were going so well, I thought. During the day of the breakup, I was hit with the biggest shockwave of my life. This was the first breakup I had ever had. No begging, pleading, or anything worked to change the situation. I remember waking up the next day thinking, okay, he'll change his mind. And boy, was I wrong. Text responses became cold, and after a while, he stopped replying. I never felt so lost in my life. I felt so anxious and lost, could not do anything but think about my ex. I felt awful. I was tired of feeling crappy, so I went to YouTube. There, I found Craig and was instantly hooked. I spent hours sitting on the couch with my laptop watching all the videos. During my morning commute and during my workday and on my way home from the gym, I would watch the videos. Craig, your voice is so calming. It felt as if you're talking to me directly, saying everything will be okay. And don't get me started on Margaret. What an angel she is." And you're an angel too. Anyways, after the breakup, I listened to your advice of going no contact. It was so hard. I had to block and remove my ex on all social media. Seeing his updates on social media was messing with my head. I remember one time seeing him post his story at a restaurant, and I felt so sad, even though it wasn't a date or anything. Just made me feel so sad seeing him go on about his life without me. It's awful seeing your ex. Mm-hmm. I then focused on personal growth. There was a time my ex reached out to me wanting to go eat dinner. At this point, I accepted his invite, but strangely enough, I wasn't feeling as excited as I would have been months before. The dinner was okay, and he ended up giving me a gift afterwards that he had bought me.
Okay.
To be honest, I was turned off because I felt like he was trying to get me back in the form of gifts. I accepted the gifts and knew in my mind at this point I would not be going back to him.
Interesting. I know a lot of people would accept those gifts and the X-Pack.
X-Pack and gifts?
Yeah, what's this, Christmas?
Have you guys listening right now like, oh man. Time passes and we got back together sometime in 2020. So they did get back together. Things felt great. I guess those gifts worked. Things felt great at first and quickly escalated. Our relationship did not last long, and I went through another heartbreak. 6 years later, I am married with 2 kids and another on the way to a whole different person and never felt happier.
Wow.
I look back at myself during that time and I cringe at my anxious attachment style. I don't blame him for breaking up with me twice. A couple days ago, I received a message on Instagram from my ex asking for a video I made from one of our trips when we were together.
Wow.
Before this message, I hadn't heard from my ex in 6 years.
Wow.
Wow. It makes me laugh because despite me blocking the ex everywhere and creating a new Instagram account, he still found a way to contact me. That door is permanently shut, and I won't be opening it ever again. Thank you so much for all you do with your coaching. You and Margaret are the best. Well, maybe that was before you came on board.
That could be.
It was about 6 years ago, so I don't remember how long you've been on the videos for.
It's been a while.
But Victoria has been on board behind the scenes since practically day one.
Yeah, actually.
Literally.
Yeah.
But this is a great success story, and I'm so happy for her. You guys, when you're going through it, you're like, oh, not winding up with your ex is not a success story.
Yeah. And it's hard to imagine a life without your ex because many of you already have in mind kids, family, a house with this person. So the idea of somebody else great coming along doesn't even cross your mind. You can't even visualize it. It feels so foreign. So I like this success story because she did have her ex. They had another chance. That dissolved, and then 6 years passed, and you could just see how much changes. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wait 6 years to hear back from your ex.
Yeah.
Right? I know many of you are thinking that, but just how wildly your life can be different with time and with happenstance, things that you can't even predict.
Yeah. Many of you want a second opportunity with your ex. She had one. So if you have a second opportunity with your ex, is that a success story? If you don't wind up together, some of you may say yes, some of you may say no. It's up to you, but how can you say it's not a success story when she's with the guy she's always wanted to be with? She's got 2 kids, a third one on the way. I expect her to name it Craig, regardless if it's, boy or a girl. Obviously. Somebody did name their son Kenneth after me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We shared that years ago, but that's pretty awesome. So hopefully we have another Craig or Kenneth coming along here. And they'll probably have a secure attachment style from the work they've done on watching the channel.
And maybe in loving Star Wars.
Loving Star Wars.
As part of their personality.
This is Craig Yoda Kenneth.
Oh my gosh. One thing I like about her story is that she had said she looks back and cringes at her anxious attachment style. I just want to say to that, sure, she can recognize how some of her attachment issues may have shown up in her past relationship. I wonder how this person that she's with is able to complement, in a way, her attachment style, how he's able to maybe work with her attachment style in a better or different way.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. Sometimes, we are so locked in on one person and we think, I am such a wreck, I am such a mess, I'm not healed enough for this person. But then time passes, maybe we do our own personal growth. Maybe we do recognize our shortcomings and things like that. But also maybe there's somebody who is, better equipped, is more compatible even with our attachment style, understands us in a way, has more empathy, has more of those relational skills that we need to really make it work.
Absolutely. But this is a great story for many of you guys because many of you just want a second chance with your ex. Okay, you might get that, but will you wind up together? And if so, wouldn't finding somebody that never makes you happier be a success story? So there's success stories from different ways at looking at this one. But ultimately, for me, she's said she's never been happier. She's got 2 kids, a third on the way. Obviously, a little Craig Kenneth. She's going to be watching this video like, what? I never said that.
And it's interesting that this person was blocked. He still found a way around the block after 6 years. It makes me wonder if he hadn't been blocked, would she have heard from him sooner? was that, a good or a bad thing? It sounds like it turned out in her favor, that she was able to create that space that she thought was necessary at the time, and it worked out really well for her. So
I was just going to say, and we want to hear your success stories too. Please email us on the website when you have a success story, whatever your idea of success is, because there's a lot of different ways at looking at success.
Right. And sometimes having that distance from an ex can feel like the scariest thing ever. But on the other end, it could lead you to opportunities you never knew. So.
All right. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you'd like to get our help personally, you could do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name on the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.